actual play where most of the players are dwarves and a couple of the others are freaks, and one of them is a dwarven freak. Where we last left our players is a matter of the players' problems to recall. But first, before we do the ritual of Beethoven, we will do the ritual of destroying our phones.
John, I must plead again that I am on call this week.
You are on call. All
So
right. You are given on-call immunity because if you're actually legitimately on call for your place of work, you don't just have that vague. Well, what if something happened hanging over your head,
or someone like Wayne
crushed for 3 hours?
Right.
That's the what if something happens. So I'm going to
someone like Wayne who can't put the phone down and walk away from work. And he was so excited the other day. He's like, "Oh yeah, we finally got this thing. It's called Slack. We finally got this thing. I got the phone app, so I can get emails to my personal phone, and I can use the IN
You're on IRC for work 24 hours a day, and you have it in your pocket. That's awesome.
I'm like,
that's literally dystopian hell.
Exactly.
You're living Shadowrun.
That literally sells me on the idea of communism.
Yes.
It's like
I want to go back to a rotary phone.
Stalinism is actually sounding pretty good, if that's the alternative.
I think I finally pieced it together because Wayne will not get on two things. He won't get on an airplane, and he will not get on a cruise ship. And now I think I understand why.
No internet.
The cord would be cut. The figurative
let's
cord.
balance this unfair ex parte criticism of Wayne with my usual praise of Wayne. Wayne is a fantastic game master, and he annoys me because the first quote-unquote faltering, awkward novice effort he made to run a game was as good as pretty much anything I run, and I simultaneously want to be in all of his games and hate him for being a natural talent. So, hi Wayne, we love you.
A game master savant, for sure.
He is indeed. All right. Did I give Beethoven at the end of last session?
Nope.
Or did we leave that up in the air? I did not. We are in the middle of it. What'd you say, Miranda?
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did either. Let me go back to my notes.
Yeah, we didn't get jack.
I'm gonna have to deliberate.
John's like, you didn't get jack. Well, I'll start handing out traps and will saves and death touches and you're gonna get some shit.
As someone who actually possesses the DMG, I will select a treasure table we may roll
on. No, I have the DMG right here, and as someone who is constantly on efforts for your efforts to backseat and usurp whatever game master's table you're at, no. All right. Oh, I should praise Chris Hussey before we continue. As you can see, and you as well, Dan, we have an overlay for Ironblood Dwarves here on our Twitch channel. We have little squares for our faces. We have a picture of dwarfy things, mountains and gates. If you'll notice off into the top right, this is almost a spoiler, but I enjoyed it too much not to share. There's a little demon Orb of Annihilation, 2nd edition Gary Gygax face thing, kind of shadowed off to the side, which is pretty darn cool. And basically, Chris created that, and Dan set it up here for the last hour and a half. So in light of the technical support, given that we didn't really go anywhere last session, and given that Dan did really take the initiative with regard to the chimney part, and the chimney part has allowed you to circumvent hazards yet unseen, which you may yet face, but won't face, and they sort of came to the front door and they were ready to kill you. Dan, I award you Beethoven, and I task you with summarizing the previous session.
All right, so we got the people that were the refugees from Ulm, well, social refugees, back to the settlement where they are getting acclimated and fitting into the social order of things. And then we struck out to investigate Mountain 78, which is only recorded in passing in the history of the Ironblood as being a place they sent an expedition to that just went incommunicado, just never came back. So we don't know if they died here, they got lost, they settled here, what happened to them. And so we headed up that way, saw an unnatural mountain formation. There was a mountain in the middle of the mountain range that had an unusual shape to it. It was very tall, it was very this kind of spike shaped, and there was there's smoke venting from part of it. And so, on the concern that there might be something dwelling there that was producing the smoke, like a red dragon, um, we got together and instead of going in or even searching for what we thought might be the main entrance, we investigated that hole instead. And upon dropping in there, at first didn't find a whole lot except a smattering of gathered and recovered items. And started looking around, found a cooking pot with some random junk in it, bunch of mismatched, what looked like mostly human clothing. And we then found a hidden side tunnel. And upon following that, we found an orc summoner, demonologist, shaman. I'm not sure the exact class, but it was a group of female orcs, which is a thing to marvel. I didn't even know they existed, but apparently they do. So this right here.
If I was going full on classical Tolkien, I would have them stuck in the pits of Utunmo and have you basically never see one. But this is early 2000s to modern day D&D pastiche setting, and there's female orcs.
Yeah, all I pictured every time you said female orc was the lipstick wearing gremlin from Gremlins 2. And but anyway, so we fought. There was some kind of a magician or whatever, and she had two bodyguards, and they were working through some kind of a summoning rite that we did identify as being tied to Thrakgash. And I will be brutally honest in admitting that my memory of the game dissipates there. So I don't know if that's where we stopped or there was something that
we effed up their day, and I think that was it.
Yeah,
that was it. Correct.
Okay, I knew we beat them LAPD style, but I
yes.
couldn't. But so yeah, all right. So then that's where we stopped, and that takes us to now.
That is correct. All right. Having messed up their sigils and killed them, you think you're pretty good to go as far as this particular room goes. This chamber is not being used for whatever nefarious tribute to Thrakgash that it's been used before without a heavy remodel, which will probably never happen because you appear to have killed the people that were using it. You came into this room through a secret door to the west, but there is a not secret door open off to the north ready for you to investigate. Or you could go back to the more common chambers that you came into from the west by sneaking in through where the source of the chimney was.
I thought we actually did follow that one to the north and it reconnected to a room we'd already been in. Is that correct? If not, then we didn't follow it.
There's another door that led back into like their living area.
Yes, that will be the western one.
Okay, so there's a door.
There is yet a northern door that is actually a door, not just a snaking passage, that you have not opened. And no obvious response has gone up from the loud 30 seconds of combat and spellcasting and murder that just occurred here.
Okay. Should we check for traps and
That's
hidden
what I was
doors?
going to say is
Traps that are at the darkness.
is Nurgrim, would you mind taking a look at that door to make sure there's nothing dangerous about it?
Nurgrim saunters up to the door. It's not a particularly impressive piece of engineering. There's no demon face in it. It's not made out of perpetually liquefying platinum. It's just a big, heavy, single-mounted wooden door. And roll.
Roll what?
I'm rolling.
Oh, you're rolling. I'm like, well, I don't have his character sheet, dude.
All right, so that should have shown up for our audience in the central box doobly-doo where the... Okay, awesome. And Nurgrim turns around, looks pretty darn confident that there are no traps or locks in this door.
Is it locked?
What's the door?
No,
What's the door made out of? Is it like a stone inset? Is it
it's wood.
just a wooden door?
Just wood. Yep.
Out of
Doesn't
curiosity.
look like it's been cared for very lovingly for the past.
Well, that was going to be my next question. I'm
Decade,
trying to
at
get a
least.
sense of what this place actually is. Does the door look new? Does it look old? Does it look rotten? Or
It looks old and beat up. Little rotten, in fact.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get a sense of the history of this place. All right, I'm going to open the door just a bit and peek past it.
All right. You saunter up and open the door a little bit, and inside the chamber, first off, you notice that it is much larger than the little secret temple that you're in right now. It looks like the walls are probably 20 feet high, and it goes back extending in front of you for at least 30 feet long. So it's a pretty big chamber. The walls are made out of fashioned stone. It's not just rough, unhewn cave wall. And there are two things that immediately catch your attention when you peek your head in. Well, actually, let me amend that, Dan. Do you have any kind of night sight active now? Any sort of magic spell or
Light. I don't see in the dark, but I do have a light
Okay.
spell.
Okay. You can see about halfway down the chamber. And what you can see in that span is a cleft, a dark cleft leading down. You can't see how severely and you can't see how long, but even from this point, sneaking into the door with just a regular source of light, you can see that the middle of this thing is just an inky black hole in the floor.
This is going to end in Moander.
What hopes? I peek my head in and I take a look too. I've actually a dwarf, so I have the dark vision or night vision or low light or whatever the hell they're calling it in this version.
Okay.
Dark.
You can see much farther. And Ran, you see all the way north through the chamber. And on the opposite side of the chamber, there is a big, impressive door. It has two grimacing dwarven faces ironed out into it. And in front of it, there are 4 orcish bodies that look like they are in advanced decomposition.
I elbow Edwin in the ribs and I go, "Oh shit, it's Moander."
There's a very strong chance you're right.
I tell him about the dead bodies.
Is there a very distinct smell of garbage in here?
Well, I don't
actually,
know. I haven't taken a
no.
bath in days, so.
So it smells like orc. This place smells like orc from top to bottom, but it doesn't smell any worse in here than it did out there.
John, I assume the bodies died a violent death. They're not like died peacefully in their sleep and laid out respectfully.
You're not a forensic scientist, and you could get more details if you walked up and looked close. But no, these things are not ceremonially buried unless this is a sloppy, drunken orc ceremony ever done.
John, I'm gonna particularly. So these guys and the door is on the opposite side of the hole in the middle of the room.
All the way across the room, and the hole is in the middle. And it's not really a hole so much as it's a slope that descends.
Okay.
Okay. So this
You wouldn't fall into it and face plant.
Okay.
So can I see the lower end of that, or does even with my dark vision it goes into the inky blackness?
No. You see that it is uneven and sloping, and downward. It's navigable. The farther you take 2 steps down, you can see a little farther, if you try to. But no, it is outside of your range of infravision to see where this thing ends.
Then like the Leonard Skinner song, I take 2 steps.
That's 3 steps.
It's 3 steps? Oh, okay.
John, I would like to request
yeah,
either an investigation or medicine check. I want to see what I can discern from the orc corpses.
Okay, give me a medicine, please. Okay. Assuming that is that you are willing to move all the way into this room, and
well, Bran already
saunter
has,
up to
so.
I'm gonna go. He goes in, I'm gonna go in too, but I'm gonna hang way the hell back because if something jumps out to eat him, I don't.
Actually, John, can I start with a stealth roll?
That's sort of Inna and Bran's play. Is something tries to eat Bran, and while it's choking on him, she kills it.
Okay, so this is the stealth check. And now this is the medicine check. Ew, that wasn't impressive.
Ooh, no! Add efficiency.
So,
Or whatever that thing you can
George,
do
you're
is.
helping?
Oh, I don't have medicine, but I'm just trying to make sure he's using his bardic knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Number.
Yeah, I guess you got level... When you reach a certain level as a bard, I know you treat
Get
skills
jack of all
like your
trades.
proficiency, even if you're not. Or maybe it's half strength, I don't know what.
You get some kind
Yeah,
of.
I think that's hard. If I have that, that's already figured in there, but that may not be. Oh, +1 to ability checks or include your proficiency bonus. So since
It's probably not going to make.
Yeah, that does include my bonuses.
Okay. Alright then, hold on a minute.
While he's doing that, I'm going to spot vision again and send Spot forward.
You're going to seek spot run?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to send him forward up to the steel doors, or are you going to send him down the nasty stairway?
Well, let me send him down the nasty stairway.
Okay. Two people. Bran and Golem. Golem, you hear this through Spot. Bran, you hear it just because you took 3 steps toward the door. There is a low buzzing sound and the faint sound of running water, trickling, not a big river, just a little trickle, down there into the inky blackness farther than what you can see. Golem Spot is scrabbling downward, and in the next several seconds, while Edwin is looking over the corpses, has nothing immediate to report. He just sees more steps more down. This thing goes down a while. Edwin, you are able to tell that these orcs suffered some kind of disfiguring trauma on their rapid path to death, but you can't tell exactly what it was.
When you say disfiguring trauma, do you mean like they have crushed bones, or do you mean like they appear to have actually like grown and or like their bodies are distorted in weird ways? Like
No. It's not necessarily anything freaky like that. They have skin and flesh that is eroded unevenly.
Okay, so it's some kind of external trauma. Okay.
Yeah, you can safely conclude that something beat, burned, boiled, whatever these things to death, but you don't know what.
Examining the doors, do they remind me of anything? Do the faces look like anyone from Dwarven history? Are there any inscriptions on the door?
Bang me off a bardic knowledge check, see if you play.
What the hell is a bardic knowledge check now?
Just give me an intelligence skill roll that is modified by your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so that'd be 3 for intelligence plus proficiency of 2, so d20 plus 5. Why do they call this roll 20?
So that's not useless. You don't recognize these two faces, which tells you something in and of itself, because you're very, very well versed in common, popular, polite society dwarven iconography, and you recognize everything or almost everything you saw walking through Grodin's territory, walking through Ulm. Everything you've seen in the Ironblood's hold is very familiar to you. You've gone through all the books. These two have features that you can't place, and that is curious, but you can't place them.
Okay.
How far are these faces? Is this like how ahead is Edwin?
He's on the other side of the room.
Outside of the room, you could
Okay.
waddle over there in
I'm gonna
half
go
a minute
hang
if you
out
chose to.
by the
Okay, I want to see if a knowledge religion gets anything on the face.
Okay, you rolled a 12, Miranda, for your stealth.
whatever.
All right.
Mhm.
So, George, are you attempting to cross the room sneakily, or are you just clop clop?
I'm in plate mail. I'm just gonna waddle over.
Okay. You guys all hear the plate mail waddling, even Spot through the spot sense. And Bran and Golem through spot sense hear the buzzing pick up in intensity.
Jesus.
Bran, you walk over to the door. Give me your knowledge religion, please.
Bran or Alvin?
I'm sorry, Alvin. Alvin. You dwarves all.
You
Racist.
Can't
All
hold the
right,
dwarves apart.
Alvin. You
Poor jokes.
you can't put an exact name to these things either. However, you are confident that this is Underdark iconography, and that these dwarven faces were fashioned by, or in the service of, Durgar, or possibly Dro, or Sir Nephilim.
Ah,
Oop.
these are possibly I'll relay that. Possibly Dwargar and Underdarky.
Golem, as Alban is talking, you see through spot sense a buzzing flap of what looked like wings that maybe belong to bats, maybe belong to insects, maybe belong to something in between, and they rapidly pass Spot's position on the stairwell, flying upward.
Can I take as I see them, can I take a knowledge arcana check to see if I identify what type of
Sure.
thing this is?
If they're Sturges, I'm hitting Alt F4.
Boy, are you going to be unhappy. They're Sturges!
God damn it.
What the hell is
I
this?
put out a spot sense and tell everyone, Sturgis duck!
Think gigantic mosquito.
I don't like that.
Well, that sucks.
Storm Sturgis, everyone get down!
Yeah.
Someone.
Yeah,
said-
open my monstrous manual. Oh, I love doing this. Well, I opened it to Draco Lich, so there are actually just 4 Draco Liches.
Oh no.
Fire. That seems worse.
Yeah, that's not an improvement.
How do you spell Sturgis?
Stirges.
Yeah.
Wait, what? One at a time.
Stirge.
Got it.
Not to
Tiny beast, unaligned. What do you need to know, John? I've got their whole thing here.
Oh no, I've got it in front of me.
Yeah, melee
The
attack.
question is, how much Constitution do you have?
How much do
Plus 5 to
I
hit.
have?
We're dwarves, we have all the
Oh,
constitution.
not right
Yeah.
now, but as it. As
I'm like
it
a
starts.
mountain dwarf. I'm like made of Constitution. I'm Captain Constitution.
No, they
Okay.
drain hit points, not con. Well, I mean, unless you're.
You guys get
custom
about
modding them.
3 seconds of reaction time after Golem screams his warning. What do you do?
I,
In the hole.
John, no, I'm sorry, Miranda, go ahead.
Say again.
I had previously gone closer to the hole. I am gonna not be near the hole.
Okay, you're backing away from the hole. Are you backing toward the dwarven door or the little door?
Where's Bran?
I did not. I only moved 3 steps.
I'm gonna go to where Bran is.
Bran is in the stairwell on the top of it.
I'll rep a bless for
I'm going-
myself and Bran.
Let's go
John, is this an actual...
groups between Edwin, Albin, and Bran.
John, is this an actual swarm, or are they separate entities?
They're separate entities.
Okay.
This will not be swarm mechanics.
Alright, just step one, making sure. Step two, about
They're-
how big is the stairwell that they're coming up?
Pretty darn wide, probably 10 feet across. And it's not. It doesn't really strike you as a fashion stairwell so much as a downward sloping shaft or tube.
Basically, the question is, with them coming up, will they have enough room to dodge burning hands?
Probably not.
Okay.
If you just napalmed the entryway, as long as you didn't hit anyone else, that could be very painful for them.
Super permeate them like a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to ready action and actually expend a second level spell slot for this to
Yes, please do.
burninate all the people.
How much damage does the second level spell slot do?
It'll add an extra d6, so it'll be 4d6 fire damage.
Okay.
Or half as much.
Before we get too hot and bothered about rolling initiative, let's go ahead and resolve that damage. Because this could be the shortest fight yet in the history of this campaign.
They do get a reflex save for if they make it, they take half? Something like
That'll still kill them.
Yeah.
Even if you roll all 4 ones and they make the save, that's still death.
Not necessarily. But
yes, necessarily. I have said it. And since
No.
apparently I hijack all the games I'm in.
That's fair. He did just say it.
you are a game hijacking SOP.
All right. Burninate.
However, it is highly probable that unless there's a comically Roll20-esque series of dice rolls here, and we are in Roll20, so this is the place, these surges will all be dead in like now. So the plan goes off. Ed, you
Spent my hand that way.
given that Spot is providing direct mind interface to you, you can time it perfectly. And in fact, you do. So I will give them all reflex saves. And what's your spell DC?
Spell save DC is about on my sheet here. Do I have it on my sheet? Good player, I should. No, I'm bad at this. I am. So
What's
bad.
your intelligence?
Forget to
It's-
open it.
It's 8 plus my intelligence modifier plus skill or wizard level, correct? So it should be
Proficiency.
It's just proficiency.
It's bonus.
proficiency.
Of course, in 4 rolls on Roll20, I rolled both a 1 and a 20.
Oh no! Wait, I'm sorry. It's
Just
not
out of the
proficiency. It's
board.
it's. I think it's just your attribute. It's
Yeah. Okay. So spell save DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus my intelligence modifier. So
there you go.
3 plus my proficiency of 2. 13.
All right. Only one of them made it. Give me the damage. You might kill him anyway.
So the base damage was 13. So do you roll up or down on the half?
Down.
You modified downward.
Okay. So
But you rolled. You rolled that 46. That was it, wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even need to do this. Timing yourself perfectly with the mental image that Spot gives you of the Sturges flying up the stairway. The rest of you, Edwin, Bran, Albin, and Enna, can't even really make out what a Sturge looks like, because by the time they have erupted from the stairwell, their wings are so on fire that you can't tell what the netting or webbing or whatever they were was made of before they were incinerated. There's just these 4 awkwardly twisting fist-sized lumps of flame that buzz out of the depths of this ramp and then sputter out quickly after clinking themselves up against the wall on the floor. And then they are dead before they hit the ground comfortably. Now it smells even worse in here.
Gross.
Well, that was that combat. Good job, Ed.
Whoa!
Well,
The room is yours. the buzzing that you heard down. Give me perception, Ed.
oh god, what is that? Wisdom?
Yes.
I can have-
Rand, are you having a Smirnoff Ice? Okay. Well, there's your one. Ed, you know nothing.
Yep,
Was
I
that
left
our
behind.
third one in half an hour?
Half an hour. How many? Okay, so there have
One,
been
two-
1, 2, 3,
That
4,
was the third one
5.
in 5
Of
minutes.
Of the previous 5 rolls, 1, 2, 3. Yes, there has been 2 unmodified ones and 1 unmodified 20. And I believe there was No, there were no ones previous to that. Okay. These dice like the really high ones and the really low ones, it seems. But anyway, the room is yours once again, and you may now inspect the door and/or formulate a plan to go down and/or go all the way back you came, and/or try to see where Grodin's trial is going. It's up to you. They're your characters. What do you want to do?
Am I correct? There's no writing on these doors.
Let's have
That is correct.
Okay.
investigate them.
Yeah,
Trap.
I completely agree.
All right. Nurgrim slaps Golem on the back and says, "Wow, impressive work. There might be a future for you with our organization. You ever feel like a mole person? Never mind. You would never." And he saunters up to the door.
Doing that, and it's going to sidle up to Golan and be like, "That was awesome."
I don't like Sturges.
Nurgrim says, "Ah, yes. The half-elf and half-not. An ancient tactic. Don't be fooled by the name. No elf touched this thing, half or otherwise." And he whips out this set of tools, which you're quite positive was illegal under the old regime and is probably already illegal under the new one. And
They're Tinkerer's
pokes
tools.
inside
That's right.
the yes, Tinker's tools.
He's a
He turns
trained
out
craftsman.
exactly. I'm a trained and licensed craftsman.
That's right.
You see him poking at their eyeballs. He's like, he grunts a little bit in frustration, and he starts picking one of their noses. Grunts a little bit in frustration again. Then he starts picking their ears. And he goes, "Ah!" And you hear this clattering, clunking gear, heavy-sounding gear noises coming through behind or within the door. And Nurgrim turns around with a flourish and says, "All safe."
I totally trust him, and so, or believe him. Maybe I don't trust him, but totally believing him, I give the door a push or pull or whatever seems appropriate, or try both.
He starts laughing. This is why it's called the half knot. And you open it up, and it opens up very clearly. And there's a bit more of a square tunnel dug back into the chamber that the door was sealing off. And then it just ends into rough wall.
So,
Nurgrim laughs. "It's a door to nowhere. All it's there for is to kill people. Look
So
at those
it's-
orcs."
so it's a monkey trap.
Yep. Fortunately, it was those 4 monkeys that got it before we did.
So, out of
Aren't you
curiosity,
glad you brought me?
I am, but out of curiosity, why did you go through the trouble of disarming it? If it's killing orcs,
He likes to show off. It's
knowing it
obvious.
doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it could have
Well,
kept
I
killing
didn't.
orcs for
I didn't
generations.
know it didn't go anywhere. I was just pretty sure.
Are you-
And then when
okay.
you open the door, I act like I knew the entire time because
Okay.
that's salesmanship. I'm a licensed tinker.
That's right.
Okay, so are you positive this really is a dead end and it's not just, I don't know, another hidden door?
Go for it.
Well, there could be magical walls or something. Let me go poke around. Nah. Looks like the half-elf and half-not. By the book.
Okay.
I didn't know these Underdarkers knew that, but it fits with their image of nihilistic, pointless scheming and murder for no particular purpose but murder itself.
They probably call it something else.
Oh, I'm sure they do. They call you Fae. Did you know that? Because you're a non-drow elf.
Yeah.
I call
don't
you a tinker.
I can't even repeat what the Durgar will call you, Golem, or Alban or Brand for that matter. And yes, I am a tinkerer. You'd be well to remember that. Well,
Pretty sure he's the one who named
if you like your kneecaps, you will remember he is a tinkerer.
no. That came out as a threat. It was more of an expression of gratitude, but given that I am a tinkerer, everything comes out of my mouth as a vague threat. I'm fine.
So
He
while
cocks
this,
the feather in his hat.
While they're
annoyingly.
still discussing the door, I'm going to go ahead and start heading down the spiral staircase unless there's like another
I'm gonna follow.
entrance.
All right. You two start heading down the staircase passage thing, and you reach the babbling brook noise that you heard before. It is indeed a babbling brook, an underground channel of water crossing over a stairwell that a worn passage of downwardness that eventually looks like it's been cut into actual narrow steps once you get down a little bit. And the stream is coming on through a crack in the northeastern wall that's about 2 or 3 feet wide. And other than that crack, which is full of water coming out the direction flowing toward you and beyond you, the only other way down is farther down the stairwell.
We should probably get them, shouldn't we, Anna?
Probably. On the other hand,
I continue on down the stairwell.
I'm.
Well, if Brand goes, we already made noise, so I'll go.
I'm going to keep Spot sending ahead, but I'm not going to do the Spot sense where I go into him. We're just going to communicate telepathically.
Okay. You go down and down and down until you finally reach the chamber that's at the bottom of these ramp stairwell. It again is pretty large and pretty wide. The ceiling is probably 40 feet overhead, so you must have been going down those stairs for some time.
I'd estimate 40 feet.
There you go. The stairwell actually continues downward, but it disappears underneath an overhang. And there are large exits to the southeast and northeast of the room. You can also see the channel of water exiting up to the north through another passage that's only about 2 or 3 feet wide.
I inspect this water. Is this like water, or is this like, some other fluid? Is this like, runoff from a latrine? Is this like, something else? Is it salty? Is it fresh? Is it
The
cold?
tears of the weeping god who is
Right.
buried here.
It's
Is it the black blood of the earth?
It's a little brackish,
You
but
mean oil?
it's not the black blood of the crying god that lives at the center of the earth and wakes up every 1,000 years to kill everyone. And oh, dear's day, slightly salty water.
Okay.
You don't notice any oil. This game is not going to become OPEC. But if that theme interests you, we can play a Twilight Struggle afterward, which is a very valuable card.
Right, you said there was passageway north of us?
Yes, there are obvious exits to the northeast and southeast, and the brook continuing on its low, narrow route more straight up to the north. You're a dwarf. You can kind of triangulate that this brook takes a sort of wide horseshoe bend up to the north of your current position, and then bends back around to where you crossed over it, coming down the stairs.
Okay.
Do either of the obvious exits go down or up?
No, it looks like they're both approximately on the same level as this big chamber that you're in.
All right.
Moving from the entrance of the chamber to the exit of it at the other end, you're no longer moving eastbound and down. You're just moving on the current plane for the most part, although the floor is not perfect. This is mostly unhewn stone that you're traipsing upon.
Okay.
Well, do we want to head southeast then, as of the opposite direction of the Babbling Brook, or do you want to head towards the northeast? So otherwise we're just going to loop back.
Flip
Almost,
a coin.
well, almost all living things require water. I suggest we follow the brook.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right.
Following the brook will require you to go one person at a time because it's very narrow.
And in front.
No,
She's a tank, man. She's tough.
I'm taller than you.
That's
go
why
first.
you make a good tank.
I know, right? They're all intimidated of your slender, strengthless arms.
Yes.
I'm gonna trip him and shove him into the hole.
If you shave your head and hide your ears, they'll think you're a tall gray.
Mm-hmm.
Seems unlikely.
So who's going first?
Bran will go first. He is the toughest, the strongest, and most expendable.
All right, Brand, you are marching through this little brook chamber. It keeps narrowing, and it gets pretty quickly to the point where even you can't physically progress anymore. But down through the hole that remains where the water is going, mixed in with the babbling of the brook, you hear more buzzing.
Dun dun dun.
Not getting crazy.
Oh.
Is there like an aperture that I can't fit in that the water's coming out and the buzzing is coming from?
Yep.
Can I put a rock in front of that hole?
It would take you a minute, but you could try to dam it up. Like,
Sure.
this is going to require some engineering because this is a running stream.
Well, and I am a dwarf, and I do have
Chlamydia.
like stoneworking or something like that, masonry.
Cutting.
All right.
I'm a stonemason also. I can help.
Yeah, I mean we're dwarves. This is like totally within our wheelhouse. We're not trying to plant crops or talk to trees or something ridiculous. I mean, come on.
It's a dead end aside from the hole they're plugging up.
Yes.
I'm gonna out of this stupid tunnel while they mess around with rocks.
This is
Well,
not
hang
messing
on.
around. This is
If we mess
seriously
around with rocks, that's gonna make noise. I had a thought. That'll make and the noise brought them last
Whoa.
time.
Whoa, you had a thought. Don't
I
overheat
did.
yourself.
Let's take
You
this
might want to sit
slowly.
down.
All right.
Look,
There, he'll be fine.
look.
By the
if
way,
we just back away, we might be muffled enough just by water noise. We can just back out of this. Maybe no Sturges come. If we start banging rocks, but then if we successfully bang on rocks, then maybe we'll plug up the thing, and they'll definitely come, but they won't be able to.
I have a proficiency in masonry, and I have mason tools, which gives me a +2 bonus. And then
This could be the first GM that has simultaneously demanded a stealth check and a masonry check.
and Edwin can sing a song about how awesome we are.
Well,
And
I'm
more
just stuck
bonus.
on the phrase "successfully bang on rocks." I don't think I've ever seen anyone attempt to bang on a rock and fail.
Keep watching.
This is roll 20.
Yeah, this,
And
Watch
there
us-
are Sturges.
Yeah, watch us roll. We have a +15 proficiency on this, and we're going to roll a -5. It's going to be great.
All right, so Bran, you are attempting to dwarf mason this thing up, and
Mhm.
Alban, you are attempting to help.
Yeah, with my also D20 roll.
One of you give me a stealth check to see how quiet you're doing, and one of you give me a masonry check to see how the dam is going.
okay, do either of
I'll
you
do the
even-
stealth. Not
I have
that
a
I'm
+1 to
good
stealth.
at that. Nothing to stealth.
Why don't I do this stealth check?
All right.
Then?
And I am going to reassure Bran that he is capable of being stealthy and give him a few pointers.
What,
Excellent.
Don? What is this
Does-
use
does
of
that-
my
Bang on rocks.
stone
Right, you can totally do it.
Does that actually give me a bonus? Or
Yeah, George?
So it's a slash roll D20 plus
What
D6
stat do you want, Ty?
plus
You
1.
essentially get to pick because the tool is just a tool that I'm
Yeah,
proficient.
give me wisdom. It's the dwarf
Alright.
thing to do.
Okay, so wait a minute. What, Dan? What did you say? It's
So
a
it's-
D20 plus what?
Yeah, slash roll space D20 plus D6 plus 1. That's your stealth check.
6 plus 1. Bam!
Good news, you rolled a 4 on a d6. Bad news, you roll a 4 on a d20. Well, give me the masonry check.
All right, so
We'll see
how
if
how are we doing this for me?
third of the dam does well.
So I have a proficiency bonus, and then I have mason tools. So I get a +2 to the proficiency roll and a +2 to the bonus. What is the proficiency roll?
Knowledge, stonework, crafting, something or other. Probably a skill that you didn't take during character creation.
No, I mean it's like not even on the list.
Yeah.
But
No,
it is.
So stone cutting has been based off
Your
knowledge
bonus-
history.
This is like it's the proficient thing. So like
Yeah.
So you just get the proficiency, which is plus
Proficient-
3,
Oh,
because
okay.
you're level 3.
Proficient in the tool. It's all tied to the tool now.
Oh, it is. So it's just +2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus the relevant attribute, which can be wisdom or intelligence, as you choose.
Both are the same, which is 0.
Well, then it doesn't matter, you dullard.
I apply stone cutting to this. Usually it's just for history.
Okay.
I feel like it applies.
You can
Alright.
apply stone cutting to making a dam out of stones.
So is he help? Oh, okay, he's rolling. Do I roll as well?
And I can divinely inspire my 21.
Alright. Alright. So Bran and Alban are on scarce information of the potential ramifications of this action, proceeding to dam up the underground babbling brook. When, after only a few of the stones had been laid, quite expertly I might add, in a fashion that if completed would very successfully, perhaps too successfully, dam this water.
We flood the place. We don't own it.
Oops.
I know, right?
We're
I
not
mean,
in the
it's a
insurance
possibility.
business.
living here.
There are well, no. Let me see. I didn't pay for the expertise of this module just to ignore it and have an original thought. Oh, there are 4 sturges that come exploding out of the bottom of the channel that it's not quite dammed yet. 2 each, extending their horrific proboscis towards each of you. Please give me an initiative check. Oh, it's disgusting. Oh, the humanity. Oh, the dwarf manity. Well, they only have 6.
I'm also at 6.
Well, that's... You have a dex mod,
Oh.
don't you? Of some kind.
Oh,
No. George.
X is
Sir, what does he need Dex for?
All right, Bran, you have the drop on them. 2 of them are flying at you, 2 of them are flying at your clerical buddy.
all part of his master plan.
That's right.
Trap. He wasn't. You thought he was damming up that river so they couldn't come. He was damming it so they couldn't.
You're not trapped in here with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And other-
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
The senator from St. Joseph, Missouri, explicitly quoted that on the floor last session.
Really?
And he said, "This is from Watchmen."
You went
For
Rorschach?
Yes.
It would have been better if he just stood up there and just kept screaming, "Give me back my face."
Yeah, he did not do that.
That's what I'll do. John, if you ever get me the floor of the Senate, I will scream, "Give me back my face."
That will be up to you because even I can't speak on the floor. You have to be elected to speak on the floor. Or you can be lieutenant governor.
So that is 5. Okay, so if I got the right window here, that is... This is my 2 hit,
Yeah, you hit.
and my damage... I
Big
really
giggle.
put this over in the other thing here. Plus 8, alright, so that is... That plus... damn it. 3, okay.
All right. Chad, if you'd be so kind as to narrate Bran horrifically destroying a sturgeon in one shot.
Well, so the first one, as they're laying the stones, the buzzing intensifies, and Albin is, he's laying the stone, and they're both like looking at each other, sweating. It's like, we're not going to make this. We're not going to make this. The first one comes buzzing out like lightning, and Bran just reaches out, grabs it, and then smashes it with the stone he's holding, and then like makes it part of the wall. And then he's like laying the second brick.
They're sticky. It's mortar.
That's right.
That is exactly what happened. You add 1 unit of mortar to your inventory.
Yes.
Then, the one that you didn't manage to kill, Bran, attempts to...
But oh wait, I'm going to take my action surge and attack.
You're going to do the action surge?
Yes.
Oh my god, you spent the action surge on a surge?
That's right.
Alright, do it.
The action sturge.
All right.
Oh man.
This thing will...
Bam!
This is not the action surge.
So,
Roll
Bran,
damage.
he's smashing the other one. He does have a second hand to grab the other one that's coming out. Wait. No, sorry. Press the wrong button.
Whatever.
There we go.
It's rolled 20. It rolled 2 maximums in a row because it's very balanced and even and truly random. Alright.
I do
well,
this
you
thing
killed it, so what do you do?
And I just yell at all, I yell at all of them, like, keep breaking it up!
So, without really interrupting the flow of construction, the 2 sturges that fly at Bran are grabbed out of the air by him and are pasted in between the rocks that he's putting up. And
I wonder if the
you were
rolls...
using mortar.
I bet you the rolls in Roll20 are completely tied to the current mood of John McAfee.
That's probably true. He's sitting in a house in Belize with neurons
He cannot go
plugged
back
into his
to
head. Is he wanted for murder or something?
Yes, he is absolutely wanted for murder in police.
Well, who isn't these days?
Right.
All right. Sadly, Albin was not as fleet of foot as his good friend Bran, and the Sturges and he are going to resolve. No, they go in the order of dexterity, and the Sturges are way higher, so the Sturges get to go first.
Bring it.
The Sturges extend their proboscises and try to implant upon Albin. Oh God!
More Sturge mortar for the Sturge wall.
Sturge
Oh
is what
no,
the
George!
Sturge-
What's your armor class?
The other one does not. I have a 20 AC.
Okay, but he got a critical. Oh, the blood loss. Well, the dice giveth, and then the dice roll minimum almost. Alright. One of these Sturges, Albin, manages to find the joint in your armor where your neck meets your hauberk, and just dives his proboscis into it horribly, and starts sucking blood out of it. Bran, you can see that its body is starting to engorge even a second after it's successfully
that's
implanted.
great news. More Sturge
But
mortar.
You're going to use Albin's blood.
Well, he's not going to want it back after the Sturge drank it. I mean, come
That's
on.
true.
But, I mean, yeah, if he wants it back, we could just squeeze.
Yeah, we'll make a nice milkshake for him.
That's unsanitary.
I mean,
Ugh,
sorry,
just
Cash,
put it in the
squeeze
damn-
slowly.
That's pure protein, man. He's got to keep up his gains.
It'll
All
make
right,
the
Alvin.
damn. It'll make it holy.
It's your turn,
My blessing.
Dwarves.
Okay, I'm gonna hurt them with my warhammer.
You know Warhammer, the one that's on you? Or the
Yeah.
one that... Okay, this will be awkward. If you roll 1, I'm going to make you hit yourself. I don't usually do that, but you're not usually attaching Sturges that are neck deep into your neck. Please,
I'm
God,
improvising
roll
here.
This is kind of swatting a mosquito with a baseball bat.
1. Yes, this is literally the proverbial that. Except the mosquito is the size of a very large bat. I'm not giving him his dex bonus to. Oh God!
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, roll 20. Well, give me your damage.
Looks like the bath salt got in there.
Alright, George, please tell me what just happened.
It's stuck into me. It's engorged, and Bran gets excited. Murder! And I just pull it off, throw it to where some more goo, and I just smash it into the rock, into the dam, and my blood explodes all over the dam.
Yes! The dam's been
It's
blooded!
And I am now blessed with holy dwarven blood.
Disgusting. Alright, the two of you, Chad and Dan, may now, as a tempo action, withdraw to the common room where the rest of them may join you in the fight, or may not. It's up to you. Which do you choose to do?
Only one left.
This round.
We got this
let's
damn thing going.
You guys are gonna try to finish the dam?
Hell yeah! We're doing great!
Okay.
Alright.
Do you
All
want
right.
me to? I do have a turn in there somewhere. Do you want me to do something to assist you, or do you? Are
Yes!
And if you guys have some ranged attacks, so it's a small penalty to just not hit
You
us.
could either kill a sturge
The
and
minus
put
two.
it in the wall, or pick up a brick and put it in the wall.
Oh, I've got a. I'm thinking.
Alright, you guys can not close to melee, but you can do anything that does not require being at melee range.
Okay, I'm gonna put a fish
Who
in
has
the water.
rolled? You have to put a fish in the water?
Well, I'm fish in the water. Torpedoes away. All right, so John.
Hold on. Who's got what initiative? Dan, you're on 14.
Yep.
Miranda's okay. So you're up, Dan. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I utter some choking words in Infernal, throw open my right hand, and a white sphere of energy launches forth, streaks into the hole that they are currently damming up, going just between the rocks, the piled rocks, and the ones that were there naturally, before entering into the next chamber and then exploding in a wave of sonic blast.
Did you just magic fart?
No, I threw out a shatter spell.
Nice.
So it's a huge, well, not huge. It's an AOE sphere of thunder damage, and also if there's any like rock formations nearby, we'll bring them down.
Like
Oh,
the
no!
wall just built.
That seems like a.
That's why I shot it into the chamber. I didn't detonate it
All right.
there.
All right.
Okay.
So roll me damage, Dan.
Okay, so it does a 10-foot radius, and I launched it either 60 feet or until it hit a wall or some kind of obstacle.
Okay.
So
Not. And you're shooting it down the partially dammed hole.
that's correct.
Okay.
So my
All
I'm
right. Roll
trying-
me.
if it collapses a ceiling or something, as long as it's not the one we're under, that's fine. So there's damage.
All right. Chad, give me a Constitution saving throw on behalf of the dam.
Constitution save. All right.
Because we're gonna make this a big deal. Because it's the dam.
It's not a dam. It's the dam.
It's the dam. Okay.
It's the best
Roll
dam,
20.
the biggest dam.
It's the biggest dam ever, and everybody knows it. And this is a disaster. All right. You guys see the dam shake. And the rocks that are not glued together with Alden's blood and paste surge all over a little bit. And now they're askew, and they're all messed up, and there's water getting through the cracks, and you're just outraged.
I want
However, you
how many
also
stir-
hear the buzzing sound. After that crack, you just hear this horrible screech, and the buzzing is no more.
I want to finish it. When you start something, you should finish it.
There is still a Sturge trying to kill George. It is not successful.
He needs to rip it out and put it in the wall and
Well, it's
finish
not-
what we started.
That's useful,
All right.
right? We're not gonna.
Emma, it's your turn.
I'm going to shoot the Sturge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Roll me your attack roll.
We're hardworking
Brandon-
Midwestern dwarves. We finish what we
And
start.
you've become obsessed.
Of course, there's another 20.
We're stone
Roll
rolled.
damage, please.
This.
It really is roll 20 tonight. Maybe it normalizes. Maybe it knows that it's given you 17 ones in a row and it's time to make it right. Okay. Miranda, please tell me what just happened. The Sturge is very dead.
So there's a bit of a scramble going on. There's some spells going off. Brand's shouting about his dam. But it
Our dam.
well,
it's the
I didn't
group's
build
dam.
anything. Dam. And I'm like, you know what? This is dumb. And then arrow goes whistling right by Albin and just pegs the Sturge right off him.
And the arrow with the Sturge on its tip plugs the hole in the dam.
On a natural 20, that is
Right.
exactly what happens.
It completes the dam for you, Brand.
Excellent. Thank you for your contribution.
There are no more Sturges coming out of the hole, and there is no sound but the gentle babble of a brook that is now about half dammed up.
Well, Edwin, you were right. There was living things down here. It was more Sturges.
Which feed on blood, not water. So what else is down here?
But don't they lay their eggs in water?
If they're like a common mosquito, they would.
Probably not moving water, though.
Water is the poison.
Sturges be damned. Let's go another way.
I'm leaving the tunnel.
No.
Well, the question now is, are the Sturges going to be damned, or are you
Wait,
going
I
to
say
let the water
I heard
keep flowing?
I heard a phrase, half damned.
Wait, is it? Did we finish the dam or not?
Not yet.
All
I'm
right,
finishing
I'll
the damn dam.
All right, you
Alright.
finish your dam. I will give you my blessing.
We are
You can have it
dwarves from the
before.
Stone Belt. We do not leave this work half done.
I know.
You're not a.
My reputation is lying on this dam here. What if some dwarven adventurers come through and said, "Who the hell half finishes a dam?" Oh no! Is it Bran? Bran, the half finisher?
He's really, guys.
Is
he's
it Bran?
really
Is it Bran who only gives half a dam?
I know.
Yeah, he's Bran full dam, not Bran half dam.
That's right.
Well, Bran, with another several minutes of work, you successfully stop the flow of the babbling brook right here in front of your dam.
Damn, I'm good.
The little chamber that you're in that's only wide enough for two, you could feel the water level rising quick.
Let's backwards. Dam is too good.
Let's move
The full dam.
southeast faster.
Damn fine is what it is.
Gave a full dam.
George, now that you have blessed it, it is a goddamn.
Pilgrims will come from miles around to see the.
To drown in this.
I want to go
God
full
damn.
ice. Let's get out of here.
This will be a future scuba site. All right, let's.
Wheelie.
Retreating to the larger of the two chambers that you've been in down here, with the obvious exit to the northeast and the southeast, there's a moment of peace before the water level slowly starts trickling out of the smaller northern dam site and begins to spread like a broken washing machine level of volume and speed over the floor here. It's going to take this chamber
not
much,
enough
much
to hurt
longer
anything,
time.
but it causes you great anxiety.
At the moment, yes.
And it pisses off the people that live below you. Let's go to the
Elevation
southeast and
and
find out who
fluid
that
dynamics. and whatnot. You're not sure how this is going to end, but
We're-
there's water
No.
building up now.
Let me tell you how this is going to end. Eventually, it's going to break through and pour out in a massive wave of water that drowns a dragon sleeping down there, and we're all going to gain like 4 levels.
I know. We're gonna be in
You
the
don't even know
tavern.
why. It's going to happen
Right.
a month later.
Yeah, just
We're gonna
all
We're
of
gonna be
a
at a
sudden,
tavern. We're gonna be drinking. We're gonna get like 4 levels. Bran is gonna grow half a foot. I mean, it's gonna be crazy.
So let's head southeast. I think that's
Sure.
away from the water.
Sure. Oh, wait.
All right. Going through the passage to the southeast, you find another very large cave, probably 200 feet wide and almost half as long, with a ceiling that's at least 50 feet high. There are faintly luminescent fungi and moss lining the walls and the ceiling, and beautiful crafted glowing crystals also twinkling along little recesses in the walls. And there are probably about 25 or 30 large stone sepulchres marked with dwarven runes and carvings. Edwin and Alvin, you two recognize these carvings as much more conventional. This is not Drow sacrilege. These are common heroes, common ancestors, and they are obviously burial chambers.
I realize this is reaching a little bit, but can I get a history check? So what I'm trying to do is look for craftsman mark, anything that's unique to the styles of the Ironblood dwarves. I'm trying to ascertain, do these predate the expedition, or is this the expedition?
Okay, give me wisdom modified. Oh, knowledge. Intelligence, sorry. Modified by Bard.
Well, this seems like the perfect thing for knowledge stone cunning.
Hey.
So, intelligence.
George, how many blesses do you get?
It's a cantrip.
He's the
It's really
conduit to his gods. I mean, how much god does he have?
That's what I'm asking!
I could do these blessings all day. I just forgot that I could.
Hey!
No. I'm fuck it. This is where Beethoven is going. Because Beethoven's just like dumb, and I do mean dumb and not done. Because this is I'm.
Isn't that like the 5th one you've rolled tonight?
You're
Yes.
rolling a Beethoven on the knowledge check?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't blame him. That's the 5th one.
Yeah,
Because I need to succeed at something in life.
Right.
So fuck it.
Hey! Worth it.
John McAfee, he successfully got that wad up his butt.
Oh, John.
He's now hiding on
Something
his
is
property
wrong.
with an underaged maid.
I feel we need to be like
Totally
sending this to Roll20 tech support. Be like, hey, this is what's going on.
I'm sure they know. I'm sure they just know, like, guys, they love it when they roll 20s and 1s. It's crazy. Let's do it half the time. They'll never catch on.
Somewhere in a back room, they've got a drunk monkey pulling a lever that only goes between critical success and critical failure. And
Apparently,
His name
there is
John McAfee.
Apparently, there is a lot of complaints about Roll20's randomness, and they had to do a blog article about it. That people are getting so pissed off, and they swear up and down that they have their method is truly random, and they've done all these tests, and they've had the randomizer just going and going and going and going for like a week, and then they charted it all out, and they claim it is as random as it is possible to get in our reality, and but they will not reveal what their method is
Yes.
or how they come by this. So
yeah.
This came up in Dragon Realms, and they swore their code was right until the day they were like, "Oops, it was wrong." You guys.
Yes. This is what they usually do. Oh, Dragon Realms, you are wrong.
So now
All
that I
right,
have
Edwin, you are
critically
able
succeeded-
you're able to determine what am I gotta give you some dead on the nose for a 20.
28.
Okay, a natural 20. Let's see, is this the right place? No. All right. You are
You know what's,
investigating what?
it's a real shame.
What's
Beethoven
that?
didn't get to see my success.
That's right. He didn't get to hear it either.
No.
All right. You rifle through these stone sarcophagi, looking for clues, especially intent on deciding whether this was before the Ironblood scouting expedition or if this is the expedition itself. And you're able to determine that these names and the calendar system that you think you've been able to figure out is not of Ironblood in nature. And in fact, you're almost certain that it is quite old. Like, they're not using a modern conventional system of ancestor recollection for their dates and their patrimonies. And that leads you to infer quite reliably that they were dead a long time ago, like centuries.
Okay, I'm grabbing a couple of like loose pieces of paper and cataloging this.
Okay, you catalog it with no problem. You also find that there's a small cache of burial treasures in one of the little side cairns next to the sarcophagi, and if you want to go through it, you would be able to take out of it a fair amount of gold and a nice big warhammer.
I'm not looting any of it, but I am curious to see, do I see anything in here that appears to be made of adamantium? Because that's the rumor about this mine. So if they lived here, they sure as hell would be using it.
Let's see. Well, you got a 20. You examine the warhammer very closely. It looks like it was built more for ceremony than function, although it is still a giant piece of bludgeoning instrument. Only because your eye catches it just so, and you know exactly what you're looking for. There is an ancient, classical technique of etching runes with the unforgeable shavings of adamantium that didn't go into the weapons and armor. And you see one of these guys' names, Borgol, has his name etched into this warhammer in genuinely adamantine runic script. So it is inlaid, and there is a trace of nigh indetectable adamantium in the warhammer.
Okay, I take the warhammer very carefully, even though it probably doesn't need that amount of care, but more out of respect than I think it's actually going to get damaged. And oh, who's a dwarf? I just take it to the party in general, and I bring the orb of my light spell close to it to catch the reflection just right. I said, and I tell them this is ancient script. Borgel, apparently the owner of this warhammer, and this metal is without a doubt adamantium. There is adamantium down here, or at least they had access to it, given how rarely dwarves travel the overland. I'd wager there is a source in here.
Good.
We just
Hopefully
have
we
to.
Flood it.
Well,
we have to flood the entire mountain.
Well, we
then
do
drain
have
it out.
two obvious things we're up against. One is the Dwarven Society didn't make it. We haven't seen any dwarves down here, and these aren't dwarves of the true darkness. And secondly, we still have yet to find the expedition. So, assuming they weren't consumed whole or lost on the way,
We've only been here, like, maybe.
which is fortunate because if whatever deeper in kills us, at least it will eventually drown. or be forced to the surface and bring about the doom of all ages.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two. But
Either sounds like a Descendants problem to me.
It does.
If we take 15 minutes, the wizard can detect magic.
well, does anyone have the ability to send a message over distance?
I can shout really loud.
It doesn't seem
In
particularly
fact, the more I drink, the louder I can shout, the further the distance.
I think it's only in your mind.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
So the answer is no. All right, then.
See how everybody shoots down Brand's ideas?
Well, no, I didn't shoot down the idea. If you want to get,
I did.
plowed and scream, I don't really care. In fact, actually, it really might solve things by drawing the threat up to us and letting us just get it over with. But I'm just noting that while this place is dangerous, our journey is not in vain. There's this. It really is down here, or at least is most likely down here.
Is this room a dead end?
No. It goes back the way you came, and also it leads downward. The entire eastern wall of the chamber here is not, in fact, a wall at all, but large, widely set stair steps going down into a chamber beyond.
John, what
Okay.
is the prevailing religious view of the dwarves about things like the gold that's not in the sarcophagi but is near them? Is this some kind of Egyptian thing where it's meant to follow them into the afterlife, or is this likely just a random pile of gold?
It's definitely not a random pile.
Does it belong
It varies
to the
from
dead?
tribe to tribe, but it belongs to them. They are commended to the golden halls with it, and it's a big cultural and religious no-no to just walk along and
Okay,
take it.
then I won't touch it. No, I mean, apart from I might examine it, but I don't take any of it.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna tell Nurgle.
Do you have the Warhammer, or leave it all?
no, I leave it all. I don't take. Like I said, I take it and I show it to them, but then I put everything back. The coins, same thing. I might look to see if there's an inscription on them that's a date or a face that's recognizable, but I do not take or disturb beyond what is necessary to gently examine any of this.
Gotcha. Okay, very good.
There
Well,
is a
yeah.
need. I mean, if that Warhammer's magic, I mean, Could-
I defer to your.
oh,
He said it looks ceremonial, not practical, so it's probably not going to be magic. I mean, you can check if you want.
Well, I defy to the choices of Alban as a priest, but I personally am not going to disturb any of this. So, Alban, if you want to do that, that's between you and perhaps a more clear understanding of the piety of dwarves than I possess.
I mean, there's another, there is such a thing as ancestors, so if another dwarf wields another
You're
dead
at it.
dwarf's
Your
weapon,
magic
it's...
guides, George. Or whoever.
Yeah.
If be worthy of it.
So,
Before
first
we
things
go Or
first.
do anything, I'm going to tell Nurgrim that if it looks like we're all about to eat it, or if we all just die while he's hanging back, he should book it right back to home and tell them first that we died, and also that it looks like there is adamantium here.
He tips his giant annoying hat. Will do, milady.
I think he was going to do that anyway. But
Doing it under instruction instead of just to save his own butt.
it's good to make it official. Official order of the Tinkers Guild.
Yeah.
I'm going to send Spot down the massive staircase. Well,
Hey,
Spot goes down. Sorry, George, you're saying?
Ed, you know, magic, right?
I am a
Follow me.
wizard.
Yeah, 15 minutes, pop it up if we want to spare the 15, and then we'll know if it's magic. Because it's ritual.
Bran could actually says that's not a bad idea. He's kind of grimy and sweaty and covered in, Alban's blood and, gore and stuff. So
Mortar.
in mortar, yes. He's like, I could take a break, eat some jerky and some mushrooms. So
All right. Well, you guys can do the ritual magic of identifying magic here on this Warhammer and the nearby environs. And we'll take our ritual pee break because it's 10 o'clock and GM John needs a new beer.
Just so you know, I
Okay.
actually don't have the detect magic spell.
What?
Yeah, I didn't take
What the
that.
hell kind of wizard are you?
What is the point of
It's
you?
not
Did you
even-
even play
it's
second
not-
edition where you
It's
have
not
to
in your
take read
book?
and
He's
detect?
here to burn things.
Doesn't have to be prepared. It just has to be in your book.
No, I don't even have it in my book. That's what I'm telling you.
Jesus.
What about the other book?
He hates reading.
What
He's
about the
totally
other book?
illiterate.
Because I gave
He just
him.
does fire.
John, what about the
No,
other
wait,
book?
wait, John.
What other book?
Any of the
I
wizards
gave
that
him.
we killed in episode 1
Yes, and I took his
The-
book and gave it to.
because we totally stole their
Gold.
books.
Right, and that
Yes.
book had sleep, mage armor, and magic missile, which I also didn't have, so I got magic missile from it.
Holy
I already
crap.
had sleep and mage armor.
You're
Well-
ridiculous. It had detect
That's okay.
magic in it. I
Right.
didn't add the 0-level spells because who doesn't have detect magic?
Oh, detect level is a level 1 spell.
It is now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
BS.
just ritual flip flopped. But the point is, you're still alive when they begin to eat you.
I sent you my sheet. It didn't have detect magic on it.
I don't want to read your spell list. I don't want to read my own spell list. You have magic stuff.
I'd like to go on record as saying is John just said he didn't read any of the character sheets, but my character is legal down to his encumbrance, and every single item and coin is accounted for.
As is
That's
mine.
awesome.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
As is mine. Yeah, I've
So are you saying that book did have detect magic in it?
Yes.
Alright, then I have detect magic.
All right. You begin to cast the ritual of detect magic, but I'm not telling you what it tells you until we've taken our break
okay.
because you didn't take detect magic in character creation. That's chaotic neutral on the D&D alignment chart. We're going to do an alignment chart of the characters in this game that does not correspond to their actual alignments, just the actions that they choose. And Golem is now chaotic neutral.
Okay.
I still put forward that Bran is chaotic or lawful good. Just depends on whose laws you're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Well, when you're talking about the laws and traditions of dwarves, where it's like honor and tradition and
Yeah.
glory, yeah, pretty well down.
Narl was lawful. Lawful evil.
Dennis, I will not be
Yeah.
drawn into another conversation about your compensation. I have had it. Whatever John Hammond says to Nedry.
right.
That's how I feel about alignment wanks. Dennis, I really will not have this
But it's
conversation.
even better in
All right,
the
break
movie because
that.
he says choices.
Choices?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know anyone else who'd do it for what I bid? Oh my god.
I'll be right back.
Find Nedry's people in Cambridge. And people say that dungeon crawls are no fun. That you can't do anything creative or role play. Pish posh.
If okay, Roll20 can say that it's random, but if this was a Vegas game and it was paying out odds on and nothing else, and people sat down to play this game, there would be a changing of the shift, there would be new dice sourced from a back room of their controlled dice. We would
Yes. We would all be
make-
doing the hand smack thing in front of the cameras every single roll.
Yeah.
That's why nobody bets on Roll20, I don't think. That'd be a great way to get unwanted attention. I'm playing this role-playing game called Craps. There's a gold piece called Bitcoin. Miranda, I'm opening this video. Oh yes, there we go.
We're playing this
I even queued up the argument for you.
Las Vegas-based RPG.
Please.
It's an
I will
open
not get
world-
drawn into another alignment debate with you, Dennis. I really will not.
So they were back.
I love that movie.
Who doesn't?
People who have no taste in film.
So terrible people then.
Yep.
Who cares about them?
I care. No, I don't. Hey, Ed, you know what's going to be fun?
What?
PAX Unplugged.
What's that, next week?
Oh, hell no, it's in like a month.
Oh, yeah, it's
Next month.
Plenty of time to take off.
Except that's like the same weekend that my boss's wife is their first kid, so.
So, bring the kid. It'll be good exposure.
This is a graham cracker Oreo stuffed with cookie butter.
Is it the
sounds
mystery Oreo?
amazing.
It is fucking amazing. It is the last one in the house, and I have it.
Oh man, I was going to drive to St. Louis.
Oh,
Son of a gun.
you will not make it in time.
I drove to work straight from my parents' house this morning at like
Ooh.
5:30. It was
Brutal.
bad. GM
Brutal.
John is pretty tired.
So, John, when you do that drive, do you just do pedal to metal straight through, or do you stop?
Oh God, I don't remember the last time I stopped. I just go. The only decision I have to make is if I'm leaving from like pretty dang far south of town, like Julie and Mike's house,
Uh-huh.
I'll go the lower route and go through Lynn and all those places on the state highway. But most places I leave from, if I leave from the city or I leave from my parents' place, I just bop up to 70 and go at a very high rate of speed on a large, open, one-directional highway with no people on it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I go in Friday post-work rush hour, there's usually a pretty good flood of people going from Columbia and Jeff City to St. Louis for the weekend. And if there is a Mizzou football game, there is a Zerg rush. But other than that, it does not matter.
You know, they're talking about trying to get the Hyperloop between St. Louis and KC.
Yeah, there was a great article in Riverfront Times about that. And how they should just build the arch into a Stargate while they're at it.
Oh, that article! I saw that article, man. That's the RFT's music editor. He was just shitting all over the idea. The comments on Reddit were like, "This guy, anything that the city does, he tries to shit on." And it's like he wants it to stay this cowtown Rust Belt flyover city to preserve the nuance of the city and its unique music culture and stuff. It's like, okay, we need jobs and money. So why don't you go fuck yourself?
Yeah, St. Louis.
I mean, I don't know if the Hyperloop is the answer, but still.
Right. No, there's a broad cultural idea around here that well, you can't say we suck, but we can say we suck. And if anyone who's local says we don't suck, we're going to beat them up because it's more sophisticated and worldly to be cynical and bitter than it is to be optimistic about anything. And I don't know. I find that attitude extremely tiresome, but I also find it quite common.
Yeah.
Is George back?
I'm here.
Okay. Ready to do this.
All right.
Like a what?
We can restart the streamer unless we never stopped it. We can just go.
We never stop.
All right, cool. All right, folks. Well, that is where we left off. You guys were debating what to do with the Warhammer and the gold, I think, and you had noted that the stairways to the east of the room led to another place. I believe, Ed, you sent Spot down there to look.
And then he did a identify ritual.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The identify ritual that we fought about for 5 minutes before leaving that I've already forgotten about. Right. Ta-da! Thank you. None of it is magic. Ta-da.
Not magic.
it's-
I'd take this relic and toss it over my shoulder into the midden heap.
No.
No, put it back in its. We were going to respectfully take it, not loot it.
What is this, the janitor's mace?
No, it's
It's-
these dead guys' mace.
Symbolic.
I
I
know there's a dwarven equivalent of a Baelnorn,
Put it
and we
back.
don't want to encounter it. So let's just put it right back where we found it and move along.
I'm just saying, if we can get another +2 Warhammer in rotation, kill a demon, rather than having that demon kill all my dwarf underlings, I don't think my dwarf ancestor will mind.
All your dwarf underlings now.
Oh, well.
What?
He must be talking about
My-
you, Edwin.
My subjects, my clergy, my
You have one apprentice.
Yeah.
my sheep.
You have a deacon. He's back home, not
One guy.
dying in flooding chambers.
He's got a deacon. He's got a youth minister, Gollum.
He's got you.
I do my best to keep
I'm
Brand
his-
in check, and
I'm his
it's
minister
not.
of music.
Right.
Jeffrey wants smells and bells, and Golem wants 70s folk rock guitar music worship, and they just hate each other.
I'm just hoping the next thing that comes up, Bran will be like, "No, let me have this one." And I said, "I'd let you have the dam." So
All
Yeah.
I do is the dwarf.
I do owe you.
Of Chris Tomlin, whoever
I mean-
that is.
Out of character, Alvin, George, it was an awful idea, and you were all in. So you definitely
Yeah.
have the next one.
all right, good.
All right.
So we go forward.
With all this catalog, yeah, and the
Yep.
we've ascertained there's no magic.
Is somebody taking the Warhammer or not?
No,
No.
that's
Oh.
going back
Okay.
reverently.
I will
Happily in its-
tick that in the deep spreadsheet document thing of stuff that changes other stuff. And on we go. Now, which way are you guys going?
Well,
Forward?
What spots do
I
you
know
head
there were stairs down. Is there another exit other than the stairs down?
Which
Not
way
another-
will we not get overly wet?
The stairs to the southeast, even though they're going downward, are still dry. The water level has not sufficiently risen to follow you into the funeral chamber yet.
And fortunately, if there's farther to go up here, it will flow down the stairs and flood those levels before it floods up here. So we should probably go down while we still can.
Yes.
You guys proceed eastbound. Proceed to the route. This is the big cavern, and you're all quite sure of it. It is probably 200 feet in length, and more of the slightly phosphorescent fungi are growing on the walls and ceilings. Some of them are actually quite bright, and from the patches of those bright ones, there are visible lights cast throughout the chamber. From some of the patches, there are very, very large mushrooms growing up. There are capped stalks that are 5 or 6 feet high at times, growing peacefully out of the phosphorescent lichen.
Oh, yes. Actually, you mentioned glowing crystals, and I completely forgot that.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm taking some cloth. I'm pouring some water over it. And I am wrapping it around my mouth and nose. I am then going close enough to these fungi to examine one of these stones,
Well, you don't have to put on a mask. Come close to me.
and
But
would
you
like-
should.
I would like to use
Because I'm a
either.
fun guy.
No, because you're gross.
Either
Because you smell
knowledge.
bad. You smell like a dam. And Sturge and Albin's blood.
So, and I want to. I don't know if which
my
is more
scent.
if it's more relevant to use like knowledge arcana or knowledge history. If the dwarves have talked about this before, they're both the exact same role. But I want to see if I can. Do these crystals? I mean, am I familiar with anything like them?
Roll your roll. Roll your 1 and or 20. Oh, what's a 16?
Well, there you go.
These are naturally occurring in the cave systems of the upper Underdark.
Naturally occur. So what happens if I break one loose? Does this keep glowing?
You can find out.
Okay, I'm going to find out.
Does it explode?
It explodes, you all die! No.
Hot damn.
I say first poison!
It continues glowing in your hand, but you can see it dimming steadily. You're pretty sure it'll crap out before too long.
Yeah, I'm going to pocket it. This is still kind of weird. Even if it's
Okay.
not going to last.
It's definitely weird, but it's... Golem Marty has confirmed that it's not magical. He would have caught it if it was. And you've heard of this kind of thing in your bardic travels.
Okay. Then once I'm away from the mushrooms, I'll take the cloth off my face.
Going.
What?
I'm standing spot ahead to the edge of the telepathic range of that 100 feet, like or as far as you can, based on layout of hall things.
Okay. Spot sees another ledge up off to the north. Stairways will cover it. A ledge off to the south, same thing. Looks like it's just going up to a little cleft. And a narrow, windy passage to the north with no door. And a narrow, hewn hallway with a door to the east. So there are 4 obvious exits from this chamber. 2 to the north, 1 up, 1 down. 1 to the east with an actual door, and 1 to the south, also up.
I propose we go to the one to the east.
Door?
Or
Door.
Door.
Nurgle, would you mind checking the door? Make sure it doesn't explode or kill us in a terrible manner.
Sure thing, buddy.
Or telling us if it's not going to go anywhere.
You know, Bran would normally think that all this door checking was a little over paranoid, but we did actually encounter a for-real kill door whose entire purpose was to kill the opener.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I mean,
And
it
it
doesn't
was
even
from
protect anything. It
the
just kills
Underdark.
the people who open it.
It's a monkey trap.
Not even a monkey trap. It's just like it's an anti-door-to-door salesman device.
That's right.
I mean, what other purpose except to murder Jehovah's Witnesses?
That's what I was going to say is murder Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know.
The first one was designed by a salesman of Cutco knives to kill you with a flurry of Cutco knives.
Do you know Pat?
You do not want to see the Kirby vacuum cleaner one. What about that?
Do you know Pat loves Cutco knives?
Does he really?
Yep.
He would.
All of his kitchen knives are Cutco knives, and I asked him about it, and he just starts going on and on. Apparently, because he's from Springfield, Missouri, apparently the Cutco knife factory is in Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
I'm willing to bet he had like a school field trip
So yeah,
tour
like the
one year, and like, oh, it's so neat.
dark heart of the Illuminati eyeball of that particular pyramid scheme happened to be in his backyard,
Yep.
and it's ensorcelled everyone.
So
Fair
he
enough,
uses
man.
Cutco knives to cut his, what are they, Omaha steaks or whatever.
Right.
Oh man, the steak one. That was dead even as a thing to make fun of by the time I became aware of these schemes. But anyway, everybody roll me a perception check, please. Till the night closes in. Till the night closes in. Are y'all rolling? There's your 1. What's these things modified stealth anyway? I'm gonna make him roll for it because deal with it.
There's also passive perception, which is a thing
Oh man, they've got advantage.
that
I'm not using passive percentage at this particular moment, but I know
I'm
it's a
using
thing.
passive-aggressive perception.
Passive aggressive possession
My
will
passive
find the
perception
thing,
is
but it
10.
won't tell you.
I just assume there's something in the darkness and refuse to talk to it.
Oh, 22. George is the highest one with a 21. Such is life in glorious Arstotzka. All right, you guys are crossing the chamber to the east towards the door. What's your marching
Who had
order,
the-
please?
I think you added
in
the
front
20s
all the
together.
time.
I'll be
I'm
not
second
going
because
by.
I can
Yep.
heal.
She's PowerPoint.
Okay, good right. I rolled 2d20 twice. I'm disgusting. Okay, George, never mind. Double advantage. Why do they call my game so brutal? I don't understand.
It's amazing.
George, you
You roll
passed the real
2d20 and you only get a 19.
I still only rolled a 19.
And it's a
He's
plus
right.
6 on top of that. It's 2d20 plus 6.
That's why I got
Oh
fooled.
my god, this fucking roll 20, man.
Congratulations, you just played yourself. All right, George. All right, what's the marching order?
I think it's Bran, then me,
Then usually for me, because I know things.
then George.
I'll be in the middle.
He's always trying to keep Bran on a leash,
Okay,
so I can
it's
see
gonna,
him.
it's going to be Edwin, or Bran, then Edwin, then Albin, then Golem, and in the back is Enna. Does that work for everyone?
Yeah, that works.
And
Yeah,
then,
I'm
what's
usually-
his name?
Oh, Nergrim?
Nergrim is hiding.
Then
He's
he's
like
hanging out.
way back.
He occupies plot space.
He's super stealthy.
It's a dimension we don't perceive.
Yeah.
He's always 30 feet away.
That's right.
And ready to run.
For sure. All right, you get to act in round one, George, along with the two Gricks. Everybody roll initiative, please.
Aye.
Oh, there's my 2d20 again.
Yes.
Hey, there's my one, and there's your one. This
Yep.
game. Get out of here. I'm tired of this game.
Woo.
I want a
Wow.
better random number generator, like prison dice made out of toilet paper, with half the sides marked boxcars, because that's what you gamble with, and I want all your commissary money. Where did I put my pen? I found my lighter. That would be
I
a
don't know,
short
you're on
and
a
extremely
prison
awkward.
thing. Have you checked your butt?
Do you know how random.org generates its random numbers?
Son.
The sound.
Yep. And it uses the sun, and it produces radio signals,
Yeah.
and they have multiple listening stations across the earth, and most of them are hidden. No one person knows where all of them are.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, it's
That's
not
amazing.
random. It's just
Yep.
so chaotic.
yeah. Well,
It's effectively random.
there is no random.
Right.
Like, you cannot create randomness. It does not exist in our universe.
Unless you read my BFF's AIM away message in 1999, because that's just so random.
I've got a banana up my nose. I'm away.
Do 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 do. All right, Chad got 12.
So
Alright,
John, if I go to Gen Con next year, I'm totally
If.
okay. So when I go to Gen Con next
When you go to Gen Con next year,
we need to do True Dungeon. All right, first time I'm gonna do it in the Gnarl suit. When we do the Southern Gentleman one, I'm doing it Gnarl and a Seersucker.
you do whatever you need to do to get that fursona out of there, but it has to involve a seersucker or white linen suit.
And
More
Midlands.
latitude is granted to the women of the party because you can be a Southern Belle however you choose, but the men have to have seersucker or white linen,
and he will declare his actions.
and you have to declare your actions. And we're probably gonna have mint juleps secreted upon our person into
You just reach into your seersucker and pull out a
Yes.
full, tall, ice-cold mint julep.
Yes.
Perfect. Not the ingredients to make it. No, just
No,
open
it's
glass.
already made.
Yeah,
It's
open
stirred.
glass, everything. Perfect.
That'll be amazing. I have a satchel on me. I'm like, I'm a bard. Look at my loot case. But in the loot case is a full fifth of Blanton's. It's a magic potion. Look at its whimsical bulbous design. All right, Albin, you managed to get both the perception roll and the initiative roll. So, as you see these two giant rock snake things bearing down on Enna and Golem, they're opening 4 diagonal tentacles from their wormy beak mouths and are prepared to strike. What do you do?
Gross.
Jump in.
Get your sword and just like fly into its
Are
face.
they
If
They're
I'm
like-
inside of it, does it have a lower armor class?
It's not like that big.
Well, that's disappointing.
It's big. It's
If it
probably
was,
a snake the size of a human, but yeah.
if it was that big, would it have a lower armor class from the inside?
get inside it? It becomes
We
your
could-
armor class.
We could do
That's
this
true.
AQ40. One player has to go in the stomach to kill it thing, but there's so many mechanics to that. And as you guys can see, I like to roll 2d20 at a time and not read your spell list. So, like that's ever going to happen.
These
Anyway,
things are
Albin,
like
it is your turn.
snaky beast things.
Yes. They are
Bipedal.
snakes that have 4 tentacles coming out of their heads. They're the color of dull rocks, and they have horrible beaks that have
I
slathering
have
drool.
no for that, but to scream at them and run at them and hit them with my warhammer. Snake tentacle beasts.
So we've gone through their bipedal, their tentacled.
They're not bipedal.
Have you ever
Toothy.
encountered a snake, George?
They're snaky-ish tentacle
Color.
snakes and run towards and here's a roll. That's
Sidestep.
not a good roll.
Screaming dwarf.
It's good.
All right. Screaming Albin, you run at one of the descending monstrosities and strike it with your warhammer across its tough leathery hide, but your warhammer fails to find purchase.
George, is this your bad idea I have to back you on?
Yes.
Are you calling
Join
it chip
me.
in now?
Yeah.
That doesn't
The
seem like a thing you need a chip
Faster
I didn't
of
keep
the
it-
two descends upon
out of your
Golem,
jam.
All right.
slapping him with a horrible tentacle.
AC 14 base.
AC
As soon as my warhammer bounces off their hard leather, I'm like, Brad, bail me out! I yell that.
All right.
I'm cashing it in.
As a reaction, I cast shield and gain plus 5 AC.
I rolled 1d10 instead of
Oh.
1d20 for the attack roll. The green 10 tipped me off that time. Hey, I managed to roll lower on my attack roll. Congratulations. It missed. And the where does all right, Golem the tentacle slaps out towards you in a horrible striking motion, and you can feel it trying to grip you, but you wriggle away with a defensive jerk. Enna, you can barely turn your head to see this happen to Golem before one of them does it to you.
I tried to stop it. I'm
guessing Your
sorry.
AC is higher than 7.
Oh yeah, it's super higher than 7.
But its tentacle also misses. Although these things were primed to attack, they appear to be really bad at rolling things higher than a 4 on a d20.
Maybe they're drunk.
So
They're probably
maybe they're emotionally crippled because their water is rising in their home and they don't know why.
really
Must have
At any
upset them.
rate, we are now at the beginning of the first full round of combat outside of the attack. And Alban, you get to go again. They are on the ground and snapping at the two in the rear of the party.
hit 1. Also, What do you want to identify these hideous beast creatures?
I have the monstrous manual. I can identify them all I want.
What do you want for us to identify them?
Knowledge dungeoneering, knowledge mountains, knowledge grix, knowledge medium monstrosity neutral. What do you got?
Team.
I've got Arcana.
Mountains are my...
Not everything is Arcana, damn you. It's not Arcana.
It's D&D. Everything's Arcana.
Yeah,
Everything that matters is Arcana.
That's not true. There's also divine magic.
I got Religion.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm not going to tell you what this thing is.
I have knowledge Christopher Perkins.
I'm losing my religion.
That will not work. Well, you're about to be in the spotlight. George, what do you do?
I'm attacking at Enna's again and telling her that I'm sorry. Something must have upset their natural habitat.
Upset their natural habitat. What could that have done? Is that your 15?
15
Hooray, you hit it.
damage.
Roll me damage, please.
Not in my natural state. 6 damage.
Shakalaka boom.
Boom,
great.
boom, shakalaka boom. Do a dance. Get on the floor. Everybody do the dinosaur.
The sad part about playing D&D instead of Shadowrun is you can't have in-character fights about Elizabeth Shue and was not was. At any rate, you successfully hit this Grick with your Warhammer, striking again on the side of its tentacly head and smashing what sounded like a tooth as you connect with this horrible beak mouth thing. Edwin, the one that your cleric buddy didn't hit, is about to try to eat you again. What do you do? And then you get nothing for your 10.
That's fine.
Godspeed.
Yeah, I figured.
You get nothing!
You believe in nothing, Lebowski. What are you doing, Edward?
Alright, I will... Wait, Edward or Edwin?
Edwin, that's right.
Okay.
You're
Because
Edwin.
Edward, I would assume
Edward
you're
is a real
talking
person.
to Mr.
Yeah, I'm a real
Sawyer,
person.
so that's...
No, that's
Okay, then
Dan Reperture.
I will do a rapier attack against the one that's menacing me.
Haha.
Yes!
That's what I would expect from a toothpick.
Bran.
Oh my god,
So
Bran comes
these
out of his drunken stupor.
Dum-dums how to fight.
Gotta sort all this crap out. Let's see here. Oh, that's the wrong thing. This is the right thing. So. Damn it. Damn it.
You lost your camera too. If
Bam,
you had a chance
probably.
to F5 it.
Yeah. Okay, Bran goes back to sleep.
You also rolled a 2. Oh no. Bran swings wildly into the Grix, but fails to connect with anything. Anna, what do you do?
George hit one, right?
Yep.
Hey, can I
Tiny bit. And
can I make like a supplementary action? I think it's called. I want to like try to scream at these guys and intimidate them to attack me
You
instead
wanna
of
do
eating my cousin.
the EverQuest taunt.
No,
Yeah.
there actually is one of the skills for that. I thought I
Yeah.
read in there. There actually one of the social skills is a taunt. I
It's
thought.
like I think it's a paladin special feature.
I don't know.
Let's check it out.
Let's spend the next 30 minutes skimming the rule books while
Yes,
people
let's have a
watch.
I'm
Most
quagmire.
exciting.
I could do sleight of hand and persuasion.
You can pick its pocket. It has killed everyone else, and it turns its beak to you, and it has 1 hit point left, and you're just like, "Is this your card?" And it just runs away screaming. Persuasion, intimidation, maybe.
Intimidation.
Sentinel. I don't know what this shit is. Yeah, if you want to do an intimidation, go ahead.
All right.
Pardon my French.
That's German.
Bam.
Oh my god, it's so intimidating.
Yarr!
Wah! All right,
Don't touch my cousin with your beaky, snaky mouth.
Rando, give me damage, please.
It's injured, right?
Yep.
No injured hit.
2d8.
Because of my specialty.
What's your
Yeah.
specialty?
Injured,
notice
I get
that-
an extra D8.
Like, most of the double rolls have been equal. Like, that's at least the third double roll where I've seen it be the same number.
It's called Colossus Slayer.
Go.
Truly random. That's because Ed found the location of all of the random.org sound generators and sabotaged them so that you guys could win D&D.
He's just going up to each one, and there's a recording of him going.
First, he had to find the device that had the perfect harmonic resonance to force
There were
double
exactly-
and high rolls.
There were exactly 3 of them. He took one, and the other 2 were manned by Richard Garriott and John McAfee.
That's right.
Who are also standing there going.
Yeah.
Which was completely
No.
unrelated. They were just doing
They're
that.
just that crazy.
That's just Thursday.
Richard Garriott is on a walkie-talkie screaming, "Turn your key, sir!" believing that he's about to initiate a nuclear apocalypse, when in fact he's just causing damage to a brick. All right, let's pour down the initiative list. The arrow smacks itself into the wound where George began his damage effort, but the Grick is not yet dead. Thwack. And in fact, it turns around and it attacks Bran.
Yeah.
Made himself that guy.
Hey, these guys are neutral.
They are. They're just beasts. But it misses Bran.
They're neutral until someone yells in their face.
And then the one that you shot, Anna, slithers forward to try to take your head off.
I had backed up.
I know you'd backed up,
Meet him.
but it can move. But it missed you anyway.
So these things have an int of 3. Does that mean that it can, like, talk and stuff?
3 is still animal
Oh, it is still animal? Okay.
in the olden times.
No, that's a
but
witch.
I thought it had to be. I guess in one
Yeah,
version it had to be like below
It
0.
depends on the edition. We had some editions that had to be. It was either 0 or 1 was animal intelligence. 3 was a very bottom barrel sapiens. I don't know about 5th edition.
They have a charisma of 5, so they can do open mic night.
That's
Not
right.
well.
If the tentacle swipes right on 10,000 profiles, one person will start talking to them. And then,
At least
That's
one
it.
catfish will bite.
yes, and it turns out it's a Malaysian social security number fisher. As soon as it realizes that it's talking to a Grick. That's it. All right. Well, that Grick misses too. They're not doing so hot when it's Albin's turn.
Is it my turn?
Have you gone yet, Golem, at all?
No, I'm bottom of the initiative.
Oh, that's right, because you have a 2.
Yeah.
You're up. Never mind. Sorry. You're
All right.
so low in initiative. I didn't even look at you. I'm the
Not looking at
GM of the
sheet,
year.
Not looking at my initiative. What is that?
Yeah, get out of here.
God, I go home.
That's because you keep sabotaging random.org.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to the one that charged Anna that she launched it. I'm going to point my warhammer at and launch a firebolt at it. My fire cantrip.
Lightning bolt. That's a hit on its armor class. You could kill it. Don't roll bad.
I roll
John McAfee.
and if it
All
has
right.
anything flammable, it's on fire.
Oh, it's very flammable and it's very on fire. This thing just
Oh.
turns into a
It's time.
flaming big. Is that the?
It's gonna
I know. I'm not even gonna click on it. I know what it
like,
is.
Click on it.
God,
Click
you
on
were
it.
ready
It's
with that.
time.
You
Yeah.
were ready with that. You didn't even.
I've been waiting all night. I skipped the mosquitoes because it wasn't worth it. But now, yes, it's time.
fire very briefly before they died.
No. All right. So that Greg is fiery and dead. And now it's Albin's turn. But there's one other that you guys haven't even damaged yet. And if it doesn't roll like dog crap, it'll maybe hurt you, but you might kill it before it can even move. Jorbis.
I will head on over to Grick number 2 or Hammer.
No!
It is not play. I am once again bouncing a hammer sideways off leathery flesh and
It's the sad story of the current phase of your ancestral ministry.
yeah.
Edwin!
Lather, rinse, repeat with the rapier.
Haha! Oh, that's a hit.
Uh-oh.
That opens up ridiculous damage. You can roll a 1 on this and it'll be beneficial.
Oh, a modified 8. Alright, Edwin, you find a joint in its plated snake body armor and just stick him. And you can feel gooey, unprotected worm flesh underneath as your rapier goes in with barely a moment's hesitation. When you withdraw it, it has a fluid on it that looks like it could be used to mortar a dam together.
That's what I was
Anna,
saying.
you're up.
Collect that stuff. We need a
got
barrel.
water coming down. It's time that we dam this side.
That's right.
And we're going out.
Damn
we're going on the
everything.
opposite side.
We're gonna be like the Army Corps of Engineers,
For
man.
the
Everything's
love
getting a
of
dam.
God, Montresor. What
And
is this
then we
thing's
will
armor?
tear
Oh,
them
very
down
good,
with
Anna. You actually hit.
catastrophic effect.
In
that a hit?
pace requisat. Yes, give me damage, please. All right. You also find a hole in the armor on the opposite side of its flanks from where Edwin stuck his rapier in, and it shrieks in pain as the arrow finds purchase. It wriggles again in outrage and tries to kill Bran.
Oh,
You know, like you do.
with that roll?
But
No.
not with that 11. It's
No.
not going to happen. All right, Ed. Golem Ed.
Didn't Bran get his turn
It's
this initiative?
Did I?
No, I don't think he had.
Go ahead and go.
Oh, well, all right.
Come on.
Well, jeez. We should roll more double 20s there, John.
Bran got skipped because of the song. Oh, well, you pretty away.
Chad, you only roll 1d20. There.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
get a
here.
second.
There we go. There we go.
No, you add
See,
them.
when
You
you
don't
just-
roll.
Oh,
When you're just throwing it away, you don't get the ones in the 20s, but when it counts, you do. Because John McAfee is not here for your amusement. All right.
There you go.
Now, Golem, please.
All right.
Golem, please.
And that's the one that's still standing. Once again, pointing my warhammer, launching another fiery bolt of fire.
Oh,
Hell,
that
fire.
is a...
Fire to burn.
You're
All right.
living like a little girl.
Unrelated, my
This
boss.
thing
is
has 9 hit
every morning.
points. And if you roll a 9 or a 10, you can link the song again. Oh, God. Link the song.
All right. You know what time it is.
Fire. Hell, fire.
George, what did you link? Oh, boy.
It's a Rick roll.
Jurassic Park.
That's a Rick roll.
It's Gary Coleman.
Yeah, the lit on fire.
Is this little Nicky?
No, it's Dirty Jobs.
I'm not watching that anymore. Okay. Well, anyway, the Grick lights on fire and dies.
Where did they come from?
They
Well,
came
sometimes
from...
the mommy Grick loves the daddy Grick so
Yes.
Not you.
Alban, you think you saw them spring forth from the upward ledge to the south.
Point to the upward ledge to the south.
That's where they came from.
Maybe they have stone camouflage. They have an
do.
advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide in rocky terrain. Or so I've heard.
You should read your Phantom book slightly to the right of what you are currently looking at in your Phantom non-existent book.
Mm.
So now what? Keep going. Go back. What?
So, Nurgrim, do we still want to check that door?
Let's do it. Let's have Nurgrim check it.
Door.
All right. Let me see what this does. Oh, this is the door. So this door is made of iron and has heavy rivets in its surface and a unreadable tarnished dwarven rune on it. But let's see. Oh man. It is locked. There is a keyhole, and Nurgrim leans down and peers into it and says, "Oh man, guys, this is going to be very, very difficult. I think we're going to need to find the honest key to get through this, but I'll give it a try with my licensed, legitimate, lawful, totally religiously compliant tinker set."
Powered by 2d20.
Damn straight.
If this doesn't work, do we want to take an extended rest so I can cast a knock on it?
We can look for a key. There's probably...
Nurgrim gets in there and wriggles it around and says, I think I got a good grasp of this thing. It's just too much. Too many pins, too subtly lined. Wizard, if you have any magic to get us through here.
If we want to
I'm
take a
all
2-minute break, I can cast knock.
Let's look around a little before we do that.
So, is this like a stone door, metal door, wood
It
door?
is iron. It is solid iron.
So, what's it attached to? Is it attached to rock, wood, metal, iron?
Rock, the stone of the walls on either side of it.
Mm.
It is solid.
Let's check where the
Rick came from.
things came from, see if there's any keys up there might be helpful. Like, if they ate a dude that was carrying a key, the key might be up there. Elsewhere.
Are you suggesting we sift through Grick poop?
That's what I heard.
If you want to just sit here and drown, which is what's going to eventually happen.
Yeah. Brand's got a good
this area,
constitution.
too.
He can hold his breath for a long time.
You haven't even seen the water reach this chamber
All right.
yet. You could scramble up into the little brick layer pretty easily. There's nothing stopping you from getting there.
I will do so.
You find a
baby Grick?
roughly human-sized suit of scale mail, no baby Gricks, and a slapdash collection of coins worth a total of 117 gold.
Unless anyone objects, I'll add that to the,
Add it in.
the...
Toss the scale mail down just in case it turns out to be magic. Anything
Is
else?
there some formerly living person in the scale mail, or is it set up there on a nice armor rack and polished?
It's sort of a beautiful polished armor rack. No, it's
That's amazing. Those Gricks are, they got the
They're-
tentacles. They could kind of get all in there.
They appear to have either purchased this lawfully from a reputable blacksmith or consumed whatever it was that was inside of it. Even odds. This is D20, so you're either going to roll a 20 or a 1, and that'll be what you believe.
Well, let's see. Licensed blacksmith, legal tender. They had an intelligence of 3. They could figure that out.
The one moment of
Congrats.
charisma in their entire life. They had two successful conversations in their entire existences. The first was when they looked at one another in their beaky eyes and convinced each other to be best friends forever and live in their little bunk and eat things that walk into this hole. The second is when they bought that suit of armor from a lawful.
Anything else up there?
No,
Nobody recognized them as Gricks. They had little hats.
Yeah.
that's right.
The real moment
Hats.
of true love was when they came to find out that they'd both been writing slash fiction about the other. And it's like, oh
I
my
think that's
gosh,
called friend
I-
fiction.
I
That's
ship
right.
me X
Erotic
you.
friend fiction. Thanks, Tina.
You know, I was just thinking that. Zombie erotic friend fic. It's all
Is this
about
Bob's
butts.
Burgers or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There were so many Tinas at Gen Con.
It's an easy costume. You basically comb your hair down, wear glasses, and a
And
kinda
everybody
frumpy.
loves it.
Yep.
All right, so the key's not up there.
That is correct.
Walking around the room once again without punching the mushrooms.
Is that a euphemism?
You know, it ought to be, but in this case, it wasn't. Because I know John and his damn Myconids. So, I mean, it's as certain as him rolling 2d20 and adding it together. So I'm walking around the room looking for.
Well, if these things were myconids and you'd gotten close, they would have already started spitting at you.
I'm looking for.
Myconids are alive and malevolent. These are mushrooms.
So I'm
What are you
looking for any. I mean, any other place a key might be: a chest, a corpse, keyhole.
No, this hall is big and wide, and other than the two exits that you haven't yet chosen to explore, one of them up a little stairwell, and one of them through a flat corridor, you don't see anything.
Peeking
I
obvious.
will go look down them, like not go down them, but just like stand and peer down and see if I can see anything.
Okay, you gonna climb the stairs or go up see the hallway?
Let's check the stairs first, I guess.
Okay. Fire. Doo, doo, doo.
And I do have dark vision if that becomes relevant.
Oh my god. You see up into this room, there is a babbling brook, and although it is not crafted as well as the one that your boys just laid, another dam up here.
What?
Is it a half dam?
With a
Half-ass dam?
no, it's a full dam. It's a
Is that a hot dam?
it's a hot dam.
This one has to go. It's completely irresponsible. It's likely to flood the place. It's blocking the natural flow of water. I cannot believe someone would have done this down here.
I know, right?
Hush, human.
I bet you it's not even sturge mortared.
I know.
This thing is not even slightly
Look at
up
that
to
tuck
code.
pointing. That sucks.
It looks like there is
Who half dammed this dam?
is a point towards which it's falling pretty fast at the southeast end of the room. You can't quite make out what's going on down there from the stairwell itself.
Okay. As I go to check the other passage.
Okay.
Sounds like this. I wish I could craft wands again. Have a wand of knock at all times.
Roll me a perception, Miranda, and give yourself advantage.
Double check. Second one.
Nice. 1 second. The passages up to the north bend and twist, and you can't see them in from your infravision. However, on the air, through the smell of the fungus and the lichen and the mushrooms and the brook and everything else, you can smell a bear, which is quite awkward in the upper Underdark. But you are sure as your pointy elves' ears can take you that there is a bear not that far away in the northern direction of this place.
I'm
Wait,
gonna.
is this in the same room as the dam?
No, this is other side.
Other side, okay.
Might be a bear pit.
I'm gonna
Like
like
bear baiting.
back up a little bit, and I'm gonna like wave behind me and be like, guys, bear in here. There's a bear,
Bear what?
like a bear, like a
like my
furry.
chest or
No, like an
bear
animal.
my ass or?
No, don't do
But
that.
But it's an owlbear.
It might
No,
be, but it's
owlbears
probably
are not bears. That's the same
What's
thing.
an owlbear smell like?
Not a
owl
bear.
bears.
Smells like your mother.
So yeah, there's like a
Does it
bear.
smell like?
There are three things elves don't joke about, and bears are one of them.
Bears,
No, there's
beats, and
actual
Battlestar Galactica.
I hadn't worked out what the other two were, so we can go with that. So, alright. So in this room, she smells a bear, but otherwise this looks like the rest of the cave. It's not like there's this
Oh no,
Like a
there
twisty
are
tunnel,
chambers twisting north. You can't,
Yeah, I think
from
it's-
the relative safety of your current position, you can't see where this hallway turns to. But you can smell, and you smell a bear.
Let's go.
Do you smell dogs?
No, I smelled a
Do not
bear.
smell dogs.
Okay. Well, I mean, if there were dogs, it'd be bear
Yeah,
baiting.
no, yeah, I see what he's getting at. Is this could be the
kind of
bear
like-
could be transplanted here because it's somebody's.
Arena fight.
Yeah.
Okay, we are
it's-
immensely
food.
over skeptical of the ranger's assessment of a bear.
No, I believe it's a bear. We're trying to figure out why there's a bear here, and
I believe-
trial by
I believe-
ordeal.
Did it smell like a brown bear or a black bear?
They smell the same.
Did it smell like a male or female bear?
They also smell the same.
Yeah,
Did it smell
did
like
you-
a
did
werebear?
you-
It smelled exactly like a
and see-
werebear.
Oh, I want to get bit!
John, I am
It
going
It smelled like the pre-Chuck E. Cheese animatronic bear at Showbiz Pizza, and you can actually hear it crinking. Sorry, Dad, you were saying?
I am going to stealth that direction to try and see what the hell is up there, and if there is any context to why a bear would be down here.
All right.
I think
roll me
Anna
stealth
thinks
check,
she smelled a bear.
please.
That's what I believe.
that.
What?
Alvin, do you say that?
Yeah. 'Cause I'm a jerk.
A swat on the back of your head before I
Okay.
go sneak with Edwin.
Edwin. I'm not gonna go with you because I'm
You
loud.
don't, because you're loud. Don't do that at all.
I'm gonna stay here. You go find that bear. You.
Yeah, and the bear will be
Grease.
like, "Oh crap! It smells like George." Property values going down.
I am appropriately sneaky this time.
Good. All right. What's the passive perception of a bear? Let's find out.
What kind of bear, John?
Well,
No.
we're gonna find
I
out.
can tell you. Is it brown, black, bug,
Ranger.
owl, polar?
Bugbear. A bugbear is not
Is
a
it
bear.
bug- Is it a bugbear?
That's
No.
not a bear.
That's not a bear. That's just a thing that has the word bear in its
Yeah,
name.
okay. A bugbear is a medium humanoid, goblinoid that's chaotic evil.
And an
Gotcha.
owl bear.
Is it a
walking-
Nazi zombie bugbear?
That's right. It's a
Dwarves would
Nazi
much
zombie.
rather she smell an owl or bug variety bear because those we will kill.
Edwin and Anna take a left
Passive
turn
perception
up
is 13
through
on a bear.
the
Where?
chambers they can't see. And then into the first chamber beyond the bend that was cutting off line of sight, they see up against the northern wall in a little eastern recess a crude wooden gate held together with a simple iron lock. And Anna, your bear reek is picking up strong heat signatures behind that gate.
It's in there. I'm gonna whisper it. It's in there.
You can't see inside from this vantage point, but it reeks of bear.
Does the door look... I mean, I know I can't, like... does the door look heavy enough to hold a bear?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Definitely an iffy call on that one. Doesn't look very solid.
Is there like a keyhole on this, or?
Oh yeah, there's a big awkward key in the big awkward lock,
Okay.
hanging loosely off the wooden gate.
Anna, you have dark
But
vision.
the key's not in there. There's a key.
Right. Anna, you have dark vision. I don't. I'm not sending a light through the keyhole. Would you mind looking?
I'm gonna use my sneak to keyhole. Can I do that?
Yeah, give me another stealth, because this is harder.
Aha!
All right, you sneak up and look through the keyhole in this door, and there is a big brown bear in there, scratching around, looking kind of irritated.
Brown bear.
A clump of horrifically unthinkable, unidentifiable food matter is off on one corner of his hole, and there's a bunch of poop everywhere. But
Is it
other than
just
that, he's
like-
like a real agitated bear.
Just a tiny little room. There's no other exits for that bear, right?
Nope, clearly not.
Can you
Okay.
ask it how it got here?
I'm gonna sneak back to where Edwin is and be like, "Yeah, there's totally a bear in there."
Can you
It's
ask it how
brown.
it got here?
It seems. No, I'm not talking to the bear. I'm talking to you
Well, I know, but I'm asking you, like, to talk to the
because
bear.
I don't have animal speech. I'm a ranger, not a druid.
You're an elf. Can't you guys, like, talk to all the animals?
Hey, that's painting with a broad brush there. That's a little racist.
It's gonna be a really big, heavy sigh.
During all this time, would there have been enough time for me to just had taken that extended rest?
Sure.
Yeah. So with that, I gained one spell back.
How long is an extended rest?
10
Like
minutes.
10 minutes.
All right, yeah, you can do that.
So,
Alright.
if we let this bear out, can you calm it down?
I'm going to cast Knock on the
It's-
locked door.
Pretty mad. No.
While this debate is happening next to the bear hutch, Golem casts Knock on the locked door, and it just flies open.
Oh Jesus! Dragon
It,
comes out.
it reveals a dark but much more closely well-hewn stairway leading downward again. These are not the wide slats of a worn-down hallway. These are crafted stairs.
What if
All right, camera goes back to Edwin and Enna next to the bear.
What if you tell it we'll clean its habitat, there's living space?
What do you mean? Tell it it's a bear.
Bran comes up, looks at you, and goes, "What do you mean? You don't speak bear?"
And then Anna's just going to stalk away because Dwarf and Dwarf wannabe.
I don't know why she won't talk to it.
Elves, they're enigmatic.
I wonder if this type of... I wonder if she knows this bear. Like,
Anna's going to pantomime.
Well, the
blow
real
her
question
brains
is,
out.
do we want to close and lock the door and walk
Door-
away, or
the
do
door
we
is
want
all-
bear meat soup tonight? And a new cloak?
Well, I figured I'd go back and get the rest of the group, and we could decide if we wanted to kill the bear.
open the door, it is.
Kill the bear workshop.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right, get ready. Get yourself ready with your action surge or whatever. Cause...
Why don't you sing to me and tell me how great I am?
Okay, I will do that. I will give him one of my bardic inspirations.
So what are you people doing?
And is my cousin around? I might need some healing.
I can heal.
Why even fight the bear? It's
Edwin
just
and
in
Anna
there.
are stealthed up north through this passage. Bran and Golem are in the main area of the central cavern, as is Alban. Golem has just cast knock. Bran and Alban are talking to each other about bear poop.
Anna's not down there anymore. She got tired of getting asked why she won't talk to the bear.
Okay.
And we got tired of her deflecting the question.
And stalked back down to the central chamber.
Yeah, so
Edwin, did you go as well?
we're going
You
to.
can wait if you want.
So yeah, okay, I put a bardic inspiration on Bran, and
He didn't sneak up. If he was there, then he would have to make a stealth or just get charged by a bear through a flimsy door.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing to have happened to me today.
Pretty funny, though.
Okay. So which one of these happened first? Edwin and Anna go back to the main chamber. Bran comes
I
into the
never
bear
went back
hole
anywhere.
without
She left.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm still
here's
there.
the question. Did Bran actually come down, or were you just making a jokey joke?
No, Bran actually came down. Like, hey, what's up, guys?
This is serious.
And you're
business.
like, hey, why aren't you talking to the bear? And Bran was like, yeah, why aren't you talking to the bear?
John, looking down the nicely hewn stairway of the open, I see.
All right, Golem. Since we are past midnight, I'm going to narrate the final scene of this adventure for the game from Golem's perspective. Golem.
A
You
down
have
the
been the image of focus, concentration, and poise. By clever use of your spells, you've opened the door, circumventing all the traps of monsters in the search for the key. However, not all is well. As you look over your shoulder, and you realize that the whole rest of the adventuring party is gone. Alban is in the middle of the central chamber where you left him. Edwin, Bran, and Anna are nowhere
Well,
to
I would go with Bran because I can't stop. I already cashed in my token, so
All right,
Gets-
Alban,
so
John,
I-
Bran.
Yeah.
Golem, you don't
It's my
even
turn
see
for a bad
Alban.
idea.
You don't see anyone. You're just looking down the stairwell, and you hear it. First, there's the smack of something hard against a rock wall. Then you think you hear a wooden rattle. You hear a dwarven voice. You're not sure it's Brad. You're not sure if it's Alban, but it says, "Oh God, it's going for the door!" And
No, it's more like, oh god, it's going for the door!
and the sound of melee combat and spellcasting breaking out distantly away from you in a chamber up north from the central pot
Also,
of...
some girly elfish screaming about Christ be damned dwarves.
Yes. And as the camera leaves the rest of you four in the chamber next to the bear, there are two horrifying, roughly human-sized creatures that you've never seen before, but Edwin has certainly heard of, if not the others as well, perhaps, called troglodytes that are kind of bony, spiny fishmen. One of them leaps out of hiding to assault you with a javelin. The other runs toward the bear door with a key in hand. And that is where we will end our game session. Bran, you get Beethoven for the dam.
Oh, excellent.
And all the while, on both sides of this scene, a faint trickle of water begins to pool up of all characters, troglodytes, and bears.
See, the troglodytes and bears, they're pissing themselves. That's what it is.
The troglodytes are fishmen. They're going to love this. The bear might not love it so much.
Excellent. So, you spellcasters, you know, like, underwater breathing spells or anything? If the answer is no, it's time to switch that to yes.
more water. I can definitely do that, but I can't. And I can't breathe it. Again, you're looking for the druid profession. Also, I let you see the bear. That counts.
That's true. That's true. Bran's pretty happy and stoked about this bear fight.
All right.
He's kind of hoping it's a werebear and he gets bit.
No, it's just a bear.
A bear troglo dwarf elf human fight is about to break out, and that is where we're going to
Fight of the
leave.
game.
That's right. We're very committed to inclusive, pointless, three-way, potentially more fights in an underground cave that's flooding. What will happen next week? Well, you'll find out in 2 weeks because that is the nature of things. Actually, will you? I might be coming back for the Breeders' Cup in 2 weeks. Well, anyway, you'll find out soon enough. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and have a great week in Great Caves. Chad, you miss with all of that.
Oh my god, did one of those have like 4 1s?